Welcome to Retro Quest, my retro video gaming podcast where I force my son to play old games.
Because he's a He's a sick and twisted man.
I'm your host, D, and this is Sago. Over there. Say hi, Sago.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's been a hot minute since we sat in these seats.
Well, they're different seats also, and also a different room. We went from the Retro Quest cave to the Retro Quest upstairs place.
Yes, we'll it's a workshop title.
Yeah. Okay. This is the Retro Quest blanket fort.
The Retro Quest blanket fort. I love that.
Anyhow, so how you been?
I've been all right. Not too much has changed.
Well, that's good.
Just been playing games as always, although not these games as much because we haven't been recording.
Yes, this was supposed to be our Halloween episode, which, due to my hectic work schedule, is now our
not Halloween episode.
St. Patrick's Day episode?
We'd probably have an episode between now and St. Patrick's Day, wouldn't we?
St. Patrick's Day is like next week. Not to timestamp this or anything, but
yeah.
Yeah, it's like next week, dude. That's why we got the Lucky Charms at the store today. I was like, oh, it's like St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right, so what have you been up to? What kind of video games you been doing? You been plugging away at anything cool, video game wise?
So I recently got back into an old favorite of mine, Uncharted. I started streaming that, and I don't know why I said Uncharted. I was gonna say Minecraft, and Uncharted just came out of my mouth.
So it's been Minecraft that you've been playing?
Well, I did get back into Uncharted. I started streaming that recently on Twitch. I streamed it last week. I didn't get to it this week. But it'll probably be like an every other week thing. I'm just going to play every Uncharted game till I beat through them again for like the 800th time of my life.
Oh.
And I've also, I got back into playing Minecraft because some friends, I played Fortnite for a little bit with the new season that came out, but I wasn't the biggest fan. But I bought the Battle Pass, so I needed to get to like level 100. But I also started, a long time ago, I started playing Final Fantasy VII because of yours truly. And I recently got back into it, and I'm just going to say, because we'll probably do an episode on it in the future, so I'm not going to spoil too much, but I'm just going to say it's a great game.
It is a fucking amazing game.
Very.
Very.
Also, I don't think actually, one major thing has changed since the last time we recorded. I didn't have a job the last time we recorded.
Damn. You didn't, did you?
No. So now I actually have a job, so I'm like, I buy stuff and I own things now.
Sweet. What are you gonna buy me?
I bought you something for Halloween. Christmas.
You did. You did do that.
And I buy you cheese curds sometimes.
Sometimes you buy me cheese curds because I like cheese curds.
I don't blame you. Actually, I didn't think I'd like them, but they're pretty good.
So that upcoming Final Fantasy. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the new one. You know.
Is that wait, so that came out already?
Yes, it came out like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I had no clue.
I played it a little bit. Not much because of, again, my work schedule.
Yeah, it gets more, every time it seems like it's getting not hectic, it gets more hectic.
Yes, it does. Okay, that's great podcasting. Anyway, so the video game stuff.
Yeah.
Been playing the video games. What was the game we were playing? Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Did
from
we play
1993.
We
played the 1993 version. I think the the NES version.
No, there is no NES version. We played Super Nintendo version. There's a Sega
SNES?
version. We played the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played the Nintendo version, yeah. Yeah, I did.
All right. So that's what we're going to play. One of my favorites. I like it. It's they remade it in I think that one in Gold Patrol in 2021.
Yeah, for the Switch.
It's on PS4, I believe, as well. I think I have
Maybe.
it on the PS4.
I don't know. I
or my PS5.
would never spend my money on that game.
Oh, wow. Okay. Anyway, so you have anything to say about it to kick it off? I can go into the history, sort of the back, copy pasta Wikipedia shit I did.
Well, yeah, and I mean, So the game came out in 1993, and it was developed by LucasArts. It was made for the SNES, but then it was ported. I say ported, but it was also made for the Sega, but like the base was the one that was made for the SNES. So it wasn't really ported, but it was based off of the SNES coding.
Well, it's still a port.
I guess so.
That was a port back in the day. Make it for one system is popular enough, you just got to get it onto that other system, which is porting it because it's completely different hardware. Like, completely different hardware.
Oh, yeah.
So what else about it?
That's most of what I know. I know that it's 1 or 2 players, but obviously we played it on our own times at 1 player.
Yes.
Seems like it would be... I don't know how 2-player would work.
I played it 2-player back in the day, and it really was not fun for me. Other people might find it fun. I would rather have played it single player. Yeah. So it was never a game I picked up and played with friends.
That makes sense. It seems like it'd be one of those.
Yeah. So you want to hear a little bit about the history on my side that I copy-pasted?
Sure.
All right. It's a run-and-gun video game. 93. Yep. It kind of takes some horror film conventions, from the whole Universal Monsters type.
Yeah.
You ever play Monster Party for the NES? Probably not. Or not Monster Party. Is it Monster Party?
That name sounds familiar, but like if I did, it would have been when I was young. So like I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, it's kind of that off-the-wall horror kind of B-movie aesthetic, zombies and aliens and mummies and it's a fun game. I like it. It's got that. There's not a whole lot of those kind of themed games on the Super Nintendo. Like there are some, but there's not a whole lot that kind of have that Addams Family kind of vibe, kind of that like campy horror B-movie aesthetic vibe,
Yeah.
If they do, it's usually on accident. So it's like they're trying to be like dark and edgy, and they end up just kind of being like not that. Anyway, so should we talk about the gameplay a little bit?
Yeah, because that's my least. No, that's not my least favorite part of this game. Actually, that's a lie. The gameplay's nice. Actually, it controls relatively smooth for like a SNES game. I feel like SNES games have like this distinct bad control to them, and like it's really surprising when you play a game that doesn't. And I feel like for me, most of the time that I don't feel that is like side-scrolling platformers, because it's like it's a 2D side-scroller. It's hard to mess up the controls for that.
Yeah.
Unless you're Super Meat Boy.
Oh wow, you don't like Super Meat Boy?
I like Super Meat Boy, but the controls just crazy.
I like the controls on Super Meat Boy. Wow. That's one of the best. I think the controls are great on Super Meat Boy. They're
Maybe it's because I haven't played it since like PS3
you just gotta
when I was
be
young.
good. You got to be good at it. Just because you suck doesn't mean the game's bad.
Well, also though, like I played it on a PS3 controller, and maybe it's just because I don't like the way PS3 controllers feel. So maybe I'll just like adding my hate for that game in with my hate for using the PS3 controller.
That's fair. I can respect that.
Like, so uncomfortable in your hands. It's just like it's awkward.
All right, well, I'll break down the gameplay a little bit more succinct. So the player chooses between 2 characters, Zeke and Julie, or both in a 2-player mode. Yeah. They navigate suburban neighborhoods, shopping malls, pyramids, haunted castles, and other... I think that's it. Oh, the football field,
Yeah.
Destroying a variety of horror movie monsters, with vampires, werewolves, those demonic babies, those huge-ass demonic babies. Those like those like squid men, evil dolls, aliens, UFOs, giant ants, blobs, giant worms, and of course, zombies.
Yeah.
In each of the 55 stages, which includes 7 optional bonus levels, the goal is to rescue the surviving neighbors by touching them, at which point a door opens. I'll take the player to the next stage. If the player does not find a neighbor fast enough, an enemy will kill them when touched, preventing them from being saved for the remainder of the game or until an extra bonus victim is awarded. At least one neighbor must be saved from each level to progress to the next. The game is lost if the players lose all of their lives or if all the neighbors are killed. Scoring points earns players' neighbors to save an extra lives. Each level has at most 10 neighbors. And each neighbor, you get a different type of point value for there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. I came up for it.
Yeah. And something actually I found out when doing a little my own personal research on the game, due to restrictions based on the violent nature, and you guys can't see this, but I'm doing air quotes right now. The violent nature of the titling, it's literally just called Zombies in Europe and Austria.
Just zombies.
Just zombies.
And so instead of being Zombies Ate My Neighbors, it's just zombies.
Yeah.
I kind of like that better. Like, I don't know. I like Zombies Ate My Neighbors because it kind of inherently sounds B-movie.
Yeah.
Like so that's a dumb fucking title. You know, like, so you're just like, oh, I get the tone right from the start of what that game is going to be.
The game doesn't even have to start and you know what it's all about.
Yeah. So what do you think about the gameplay? The way it plays? Like, how does that...
As I said, it's weirdly smooth for like not 3D, but like that SNES like up and down type of game. I guess I'm blanking on what it's called, but you know, like like that up and down adventure like movement type game. It's
like a top down.
Yeah, top down. It's I forget. Things have simple names.
Top down, bro.
Yeah, top down. It's like, I feel like generally with most older consoles, especially the SNES, it usually doesn't feel super like nice trying to pick it up and figure out how it handles. And I feel like this one, it just like, it feels smooth, right? Like it feels like it conveys relatively well.
It does control real nice.
Yeah, like that's something I noticed, like playing this versus like comparing it to like top-down games I've played in the past, like on the SNES and the NES. It's like
what? Like what would you compare this game to?
Oh god. So I guess this isn't an SNES game, but this is a top-down game that I played the most when I was young, and it's an old console game. It's a Sega Genesis game. It's called Sonic 3D.
Oh my god. Wow.
The worst possible controlling top-down game of all time, in my opinion.
Did you just compare this game to Sonic? Okay, so compared to Sonic 3D, how would you say this game is?
Oh, compared to Sonic 3D, this game is immeasurably better. Two completely different realms of like quality.
Okay. But I mean, that's more of like sort of like a 3D action game, where this is more like a 3D... I guess this would be action, but
it's like a 3D shoot 'em up.
A 3D action shooter. Well, that's a 3D action platformer. So I mean,
yeah.
I like the gameplay. I like just the way you do it. You know, I like the cycle. You know.
Yeah.
You go into a level. You go just find neighbors, kill zombies, find items, explore. If I didn't know better, if I hadn't played this game so much, I would have thought it was procedurally generated, because it seems like it's all kind of the same, just laid out slightly different. The maps are about the same size.
Okay, I guess, yeah.
I could see a remake of this game, you know, as a roguelike.
Like having infinite levels.
As a roguelike.
Completely. Yeah.
Like just a complete roguelike where you are just keep going and just keep going to different procedurally generated zombie levels, and you know, I think it would be cool.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I guess, yeah. I can see where you come from right there.
I like the loop, as it's called. What's it called? The gameplay loop. I like the gameplay loop. I really like it. And then every once in a while you run into these like different levels that kind of throw you off. They have like a big baby or like UFOs
or Dr. Tongue.
Or Dr. Tongue.
Quite the name.
Did you beat this game?
I did not.
How far did you actually get in this game?
So, yeah, without watching any like videos, any tutorials, or like even just watching the ending, the farthest I got was some mall. I don't remember the exact level because I can't rewind that far back in my RetroArch. But I know it's like, I'm pretty sure it's level 20 something. It's a mall level.
You got there legitimately?
Yes. No guides, no nothing.
No cheats, no nothing?
Cheats. Like barely any rewinds even. Like for the most part, just pure white collar gaming.
I think back in the day I beat it naturally, like on the system with no cheats, because I didn't have like a Game Genie or Game Shark or anything like that. This time when I replayed it for this, I played it naturally up to probably around the same place you did, maybe a little bit less, and then I started getting frustrated. So then I turned cheats on, and I just save stated all the way fucking through it, and just like got to the end, and yeah, cheated the fuck out of it. I could not legitimately get past like maybe level 17 or 18.
Jeez, that's understandable. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but like this level I was on, I was even playing it right before like we started. Been stuck on it basically for quite a few days. I watched a video on how to get past a level, and I still couldn't get past the level.
What was getting you? Was it the timing of like getting to a place, or you just running out? Did you not have enough resources, running out of bullets?
No, I have enough everything, but I've been everywhere in the map that I can be, and I can't get to wherever the last neighbors must be. Because I haven't got a game over, so they're not dead. They're just somewhere.
Well, you know where they're at, right? You saw the video that shows you where they're at.
Yeah, but like I can't get to them.
But you saw how they got to them in the video, right?
I watched it, and like every time, like I couldn't do it.
Like, what can you not do? Is it like a trampoline or like a?
It's not a trampoline.
Like a hedge that you got to blow open with a bazooka.
No, because like I'm like in one of the mall levels.
So you gotta blow up like a wall with like something with that big punchy guy?
Well, I tried like every wall I could to like get over to where it was. And maybe it's because like I just
What did they do in the video?
Well, okay, so when I first watched the video, I think I only tried more for like 5 minutes after that. So I'm just like trying to remember the video. I didn't even rewatch it, so I think I might be just like misremembering it, but I can't get across like these cracks in the floor. And like there's the only way to get to where the end of the level is.
Oh, well. I'm gonna rewatch the video.
Yeah.
Did you see a video of the ending?
Yeah. I saw a video of the ending battle.
That ending battle, even with a bunch of fucking cheats and a bunch of shit, was a pain in the dick, dude.
See, that's funny that you say that, because the video of the dude that I watched, he literally just stood in one spot, got hit once, and like he was just like throwing.
Okay, well, I don't know no speedrunner fucking techniques on how to beat this guy. I beat it once when I was like 12.
Okay, that's
and then
fair.
I went through now, and as an old man who plays old video games, and forgot about how to play this old video game.
That's fair. I can respect that.
So yeah, so let's talk about some of the enemies. How about the characters? How about Zeke? What do you think about the two protagonists of our tale?
So,
of our late night zombie flick. I love the theme of this. I just want to get that out of the way. Like,
yeah,
I have loved zombies since I was a kid. Like, that was like a thing I really, really digged on, because my uncle and my mom used to love watching Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, all kinds of like old zombie movies. So at one point zombies became cool, like right around the time when Walking Dead came out, and then everybody like zombies, we have zombie walks. I liked fucking zombies back when you guys were like, this guy's weird because he likes fucking zombies. Anyhow, I love the fucking aesthetic, the whole B movie, like 50s drive-in zombie fucking aesthetic. It's even like kind of seems like it takes place in the 50s or 60s, like just the way the people are dressed. And
yeah, I
anyhow,
can see that.
So our tale, our tragic zombie tale, what with the protagonists, Zeke and Julie, what do you think of them?
I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue what Julie looks like.
She wears like a sweatshirt. She wears like a sweatshirt and a red cap, I believe. I believe she may be ethnic. But Zeke's definitely Norwegian. He's got like a front hawk, and like 3D glasses for some fucking reason. I think that would be a dumb idea.
Until you like gave the explanation, like the mohawk, I was like, what do you like? What? Why do you think he's Norwegian? You had me for a second with that one.
But yeah, so I kind of don't like the main characters.
I mean,
it just for some reason they don't seem like they fit in with the rest of the theme. They seem more like,
I think that's the point, though.
Yeah, but it's like they're time travelers. It's like they're out of time. They seem like teenagers in the 90s. That's more what they look like to me. They don't look like teenagers in the 50s.
Well, to me,
60s, or even definitely not the 70s.
What I feel like this is kind of my headcanon for the game. So I mean, this is not like anything that's official or anything, but this is my headcanon. Of course, the people are just like they're from the 50s because they grew up in the 50s, right? Like those people were very clearly older people, right? They're gonna dress how, their generation dresses. Just like, we're bad examples because we don't really dress. We just kind of dress what feels comfortable, but people dress like their generation. These are some kids in the 90s.
I don't know. I guess if I think about it more in my head, like it's not really so much that the people are dressed like they're from the 50s. It's just like
no, they really are.
No, because like the tourist people, right? Don't the tourist people have like a camera?
Yeah, true. Okay.
Like that doesn't like look too 50s. Like I don't know.
That
maybe I'm just mixing it up in my head. I just don't like those two. I don't think.
I don't know. I like because like the idea it gives me in my mind is that like, and I know this isn't true, but to my like the idea in my mind is like these are just two kids being stupid, like thinking they're saving everybody, but they're actually just running around causing havoc, like. In their town, because like imagination.
I never really digged them for whatever reason. It could just be a me thing, and it's probably just a me thing. They just
I guess as I said, I never saw Julie, but one like of them. Zeke's design, I can like get behind that. He looks a little like just out of place. Like he doesn't feel like he
looks like a dork, which is whatever.
Yeah, he does.
All right, what about all the different enemies? Because there are a shit ton of enemies in this game.
God.
Like, this game is
way
enemies.
More than you think.
Like this game is enemies. Like this is like, okay, here's a game. We're gonna throw you in there, put a maze that you're gonna fight these enemies and different.
Like at least 80% of the storage like that this game takes up has to be the different kinds of enemies.
Oh yeah, I mean just think of all the different like iterations of just the baby.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the axe baby, you got the fucking Titanic baby,
the fire baby, fire baby skull, like
Dr. Tongue.
All the different like Dr. Tongue sprites, which there's a crazy amount of.
What is your favorite enemy? Not necessarily like what do you think is the hardest or the easiest. Yeah. What's like what do you think are the your top 3 enemies in this game? What are they?
Number 1's Dr. Tongue.
You like Dr. Tongue? Why do you like Dr. Tongue?
He's just like he's very themed, right? Every is
very themed.
Every level he's in is has the name Dr. Tongue in it, right? Like, and that's something I can't like. This game tells a story without telling a story. There's no dialogue. There's no text besides like the level pass screens. But there's this remnant of like a faint story, like you can.
Well, there's
feel.
A story in the instruction manual.
Well, yeah, but like. There's like this.
And you're expected, like back in the day, you were expected to read the instruction manual.
Yeah,
Give
I learned
the
that
introduction, kind of gave you the backstory of okay, this is what's going on, because the game is not going to convey that to you. Like, there's not really cut scenes in the game. There might be some text here or there.
Yeah.
So you got to. It's more like like Dark Souls. Like it tells the story without telling the story directly to you. You have to go out to learn the story.
Unlike, I guess I don't care enough to learn the story. But
well, I guess you don't care enough to learn the story.
But, like, there's this faint story, like, that you can feel like... It feels like at the first time you see Dr. Tongue, he's just, like, some crazy scientist dude, right? And, like, every time you see him from there on, it just, like, he gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, there's, like... We're slowly watching this, like, scientist dude descent into further madness, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Okay, I can dig that. So Dr. Tongue, that's your number 3 or number 1?
Number 1, because he's like, he has the most going on for him, and that's like a big thing for me is like a character that like means something.
Who's your second favorite enemy?
Zombies.
The zombies?
They're the first enemies you're introduced to, as the name would have you believe. They're the easiest ones to fight. They take one shot with literally anything. My personal favorite, the plates. And they I like their animations, like the way they walk. They're like, they don't creep me out. Like some of the enemies in this game, like they don't like scare me or like, but they're just like, I don't like to look at them. Like, right? Like the zombies, like they have a nice design that's like not too hard on the eyes, right? Like it's relatively like, I can see a zombie and just shoot it. Don't have to think about it too much. It doesn't stick in my mind.
Okay.
And my number 3 is the ants.
Oh, you like the ants?
Because they stick in my mind. I hate their design. I hate the feeling I get when I see one. I hate watching them climb over walls. Everything I like about the zombies and everything that I like they aren't is the same reason why I like the ants in my number 3 spot.
Okay. All right. I guess my top 3, my number 1 would be the zombies. Because I fucking like the way they look. I think their design is cool. The way that they animated is cool. The fact that they are like one shot with anything, they're dead. But you can quickly be overwhelmed because they're not slow.
Oh no, yeah, those things are like they're faster than Zeke, aren't they?
Get you.
I
think they're right about like you can outrun them. I believe if you really try.
I thought the zombies were like one of the few things that was actually faster than the protagonist.
I could be wrong. I swear I've outran zombies. Like I don't know. I can't see how I would have survived by not being able to outrun.
Maybe they have different maybe their speeds vary a tiny bit then.
They probably do vary. I think they actually do.
Yeah.
Because I think I can picture a slow zombie and I can picture a fast moving zombie.
Yeah. So they probably vary a little bit, or maybe we're just crazy.
Maybe. Well, yeah. There's that. My number 2 would be the werewolf. I think the werewolf is cool.
Okay, that's fair.
Like that werewolf design looks cool. Like it looks like just it just looks cool. I like the way the werewolf looks.
Yeah.
And then I like the gigantic baby, the Titanic.
I did too.
Toddler.
That's definitely my number 4. Like that's like the list I told you is followed right up by the big baby.
Titanic toddler is what they call it. You know they got all the different enemies and all the different weapons and items. What was your favorite weapon in the game?
I said the plates as a joke. That's not it. My favorite weapon is like the cross thing because it one-shots anything, right? As long as you like time it right, you can get a decent amount of them pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a relatively decent weapon. And it spins around you, so like timing's everything with it because if you aren't timing with it, then if you aren't timed with it correctly, then you'll get hit by whatever you think. But even if you get hit, it's still gonna kill whatever's right there. And since it one hits anything, there's no getting hit twice by what there is. Like something's next to you, even if it hits you once, it's gone right after that. Like there's a lot of good weapons. The bazooka's a great weapon.
The bazooka's awesome.
But it's very sparse that you find like any ammo for it or anything, so it's best to just save it for walls and stuff.
Yeah, like honestly the bazooka is something I don't ever use as an actual weapon.
Yeah.
Unless I have to. Like,
the only time I ever used it was against like the lumberjack dudes because it's the only thing that like hits them.
So and that's I would much rather try to avoid them.
Yeah.
Because there's some levels where if you have a bazooka, you can cut like the length of that level down by like half or more.
Oh yeah.
Like there'll be a shortcut right there. Boom, you can go rescue somebody that took
also,
you like a minute to get to.
A bazooka isn't the only. Like if you have the beast potion too, exact same thing. It can break through exact same things.
The beast potion's the beast. That's like my favorite shit. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. I only used it a few times though because I didn't realize how powerful it was.
Like I always save it for something, and then I'm like, oh, I keep saving this and not using it, and fucking, I end up not using it on a boss and just randomly using it to get like across a fucking level. I ain't sorry.
I didn't even find out how strong it was until I got stuck on the level I was stuck on, so didn't have much opportunity.
You like those inflatable clowns?
They are the funniest thing to me because everything just rushes to like you become invisible because everything just wants a piece of that clown.
Dude, I love those fucking inflatable. That's probably one of my favorite like items to use.
Yeah, your favorite.
Or the inflatable clown. I like the squirt gun. That's a good weapon. Like I like what it kind of implies because it doesn't out and out tell you why a squirt gun is like damaging all these monsters. My headcanon is that it's holy water. What the fuck else would it be?
Okay, that makes sense. As I told you what my headcanon is already, it's like, to me, it's like, these kids are carrying around squirt guns. They're just terrorizing the town.
Yeah, my headcanon is they went to the priest, or to the church, loaded their squirt gun up with holy water, and that's why it damages werewolves and zombies. And
that makes sense. And I guess that does fit, too, because, like, with, like, the themes of, like, the cross and stuff.
See what I'm saying? Like, that was always, like, I always thought that was, like, what it was like
not even just like an idea in your head.
Like,
you thought that was
I didn't
just
even think it wasn't even like it was implied. It was just like oh, that's what it is. Like I didn't even have to like double think it. Like It's holy water. What else? What the fuck else would it be? It's
That's
you know,
fair.
because I've also seen lots of '80s vampire movies and shit where they would get squirt guns and load them up with fucking holy water. That was a common theme in like random horror movies in the '80s and '90s, was loading your fucking squirt gun up with holy water.
Yeah.
So it was just like, oh, that's what it is. The soda, no fucking idea what that's about.
Maybe it's
not
cans
holy
of
soda.
holy water.
It's like carbonated holy water. What the fuck?
Carbonated.
I mean,
maybe the brand of it is like holy carbonated carbonation or something.
Like that's the only one that in my mind that's I'm like, what the fuck? Or popsicles too, like ice pops.
Really, not plates and forks. Those aren't the ones that trip you up.
No, because I can imagine, like, I can see you if it's really heavy plate or fork or something, throwing it at like a fucking monster and it like damaging them and hurting them.
I guess so, but like, I would much rather throw a 6-pack of sodas at a monster.
But in all reality, what's that gonna do besides explode somehow?
Exactly. Which is probably going to do a lot more damage than a knife and a fork. And not even like a pointy knife, a butter knife.
I don't know. I feel like that's, yeah.
Like, yes, a butter knife can do some damage, but it's not easy.
I'll give you the silverware. The silverware is different. Plates, heavy plate, I could see that.
I get the plate because I guess if you throw it at something like it shatters, that's like a lot of damage.
I mean, none of it really makes sense either.
None of the game makes sense.
Ever. So like,
we're critiquing how much the weapons make sense when none of them make sense.
Right. All right. So you got the weapons and the levels. What did you think of like the level design, like the different levels there were? There wasn't a whole lot of variety in like the theme, but there was, like I said, it was almost procedurally generated. There's a shit ton of levels, like 55 levels.
I like it for the most part. I like the maze, like aspects. That's like kind of cool. I like the like themes of the map, right? Like being inside of a tomb. I say tomb, it's not like a tomb, like being inside of like this temple where you have to like go through and like these walls close behind you and like you have to break through them or like blow them up to like get back to where you just were, and like you're being chased by these mummy things.
Did you like the pyramid levels?
Yeah.
I hated the pyramid levels so much. Those, like every time I hit a pyramid level, I'm just like, oh, I hate my fucking life. I don't want to play this level.
Like, I'm done. This is it.
Like, I like the neighborhood levels. Those are the levels I like.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the pyramid levels, I hate them. Like, for whatever reason.
Can we agree on the mall levels sucking? Can we agree on that?
Yeah. Okay. I don't think they're horrible, but they're not my favorite. There's a lot going on. It's like colors. So, like, sometimes you don't see your path correctly, and it's hard to kind of, really maneuver around the enemies when you're kind of distracted by where you can actually maneuver to.
Maybe that was also like my issue. Like maybe my hatred for mall level just comes from the fact that I wasn't able to get past one.
That's fair.
I never thought a game would beat me.
Well, I think games beat you all the time. I'm pretty sure Zelda 2 beat you pretty hard.
Oh yeah, I never beat that one either. Never mind. I guess I should have seen this coming.
You should have. You should have, sir.
This is, the second game in a row that I wasn't able to beat?
Let's see, you beat Zelda 1, right?
I did.
You beat...
I beat Friday the 13th.
You beat Friday the 13th. You beat Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
You beat... Which one was the one where you, fucking decompiled the code on it? Was that Friday the 13th?
I think so, yeah.
Where you, timed how to fucking get around the map or something?
Yeah. And, I could pinpoint where Jason was at any, given moment.
I think so. I think that's what you were sporting some deadly skills on that game.
Yeah, I discovered some things that people who probably played this game since they were little haven't even been able to figure out, so...
Did you do that on this game?
I did not. There's not that much to figure out. This game's very face level. That's what I learned. There's not, there's not much timing. When enemies spawn is very clearly random, number generation, not much.
I think this game takes a lot of skill.
Oh, yeah. That's not a question at
all.
What
was your favorite level? Like your favorite, not your favorite like level, obviously, but your favorite type of level, like the tomb.
Yeah, definitely the like temple tomb things.
So you liked more of like when it was corridors, when it was like.
Yeah, cause like I mean, those levels took me relatively less time to beat. Like they felt the most straightforward, which is probably a weird statement because it should go the other way around. But like I'm in a maze. I feel like I can get through a maze a lot easier than I could probably get through my school. Like
Okay.
Like I just have the brain that can like I can think like what's gonna throw me off. So where should I go? Like what seems like the right way? Because I know that's most likely not where I'm gonna go unless it's been a while since I went what felt like the right way. Like it's just like I can trust my intuition well enough. Whereas like a big open area, I couldn't find my own ass with both hands and a map.
I gotcha. I want to change my favorite level. My favorite level is not the neighborhood level. My favorite level is actually the castle levels.
Okay, that's fair.
The castle levels, I think, are like that. They kind of have that kind of like, I think maybe the aesthetic I just like better than the tomb levels.
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
The neighborhood levels and the mall levels, kind of right in between. I could take either one of them or leave either one of them.
Yeah.
It's really I forgot about the castle levels. That you started talking about the tomb level, but those castle levels.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I can see that.
Because like the castle levels is where you see like a lot of the werewolves and the fucking vampire and the Frankenstein.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it all comes together and you're like, okay, I see what you. Then there's like the sporadic zombie here or there. Fucking, yeah, I forgot about the castle levels.
I honestly did too, till you brought them up.
Did you ever get to a castle level?
I think there was one, but maybe I'm misremembering like the theme of a level. But I think I did. I think I got to one, because I think at the point
Did you ever see any of those tentacle? You ever fight any of those tentacle monsters?
Yes, there's one on the level that I'm stuck on.
Yeah.
There's like two actually, I think.
Those tentacles. Ooh, boy.
Not fun. At all.
So, all in all, how do you feel about this game? Well, you think it was a hard game? Like,
I mean, there's definitely like I'm not discounting the amount of skill it takes. But I feel like a lot of what's hard about the game just comes from like what you see in like Mario Maker. It's not hard because like the skill level is insane. Like you need like there is a lot of chance to this game, especially when you're playing without any like cheats or being able to rewind. Like you'll find yourself because of random number generation just getting overwhelmed by a bunch of monsters that you can't take on because you don't like there's no weapon fast enough to take on like 15 zombies at once, right? Like
well, yeah, it's
like,
called your thumbs, bro.
Like it's good and there's definitely skill. As I said, I'm not discounting that because any game takes skill, but it feels like playing through a Mario Maker level made by some 7-year-old who wanted to make kids mad. Like,
oh wow!
Like you get trapped in spots that like just feel stupid. You'll get like surrounded by monsters that take 18 shots with anything, and like there'll be 15 of them. Like you'll just find yourself losing life really quickly, and as I didn't fall prey to that too much because the few times I did was when I used my rewind because I was not about to get to level 15, lose all my lives, and restart the game. So whenever I got trapped was like the few times I used my things, but I could like see how somebody playing this back in the 1990s could very easily rage quit just like they would in Mario Maker. It feels very Kaizo, if you will.
Kaizo, I guess. I don't think it's. I wouldn't say Kaizo because this game is very very manageable once it's a skill.
But I mean that's also
it takes
Kaizo.
Skill.
Like that's what.
But
Kaizo,
not like
Kaizo,
that kind of not Kaizo.
Well, yeah, it's
skill.
completely different type of skill, but it's like the same level of like. It's insane. Once you get it down, it's a little easier, but it's still hard.
I think this is one of those games back in the day when basically each level is a puzzle.
Yeah.
You have to figure out what you need to do in what order, and then once you have figured out how to do that, once you have figured out, okay, I got these zombies here. I got to go rescue these guys first because these guys, the order of how you go through it. Once you've learned that, all it takes now is learning the muscle memory to do it. It's a skill thing. You learn it. You learn the pattern, then you learn the movement.
Yeah.
I guess kind of like Kaizo, but I mean using that as a definition for Kaizo, that could also be a definition for 100 other things.
Yeah.
That's a definition for learning piano.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I just give it Kaizo because when I think of that kind of skill in gaming specifically, where it's like you're gonna keep failing until you get like the perfect. Dark Souls feels very Kaizo. Okay,
it's everything.
Change my mind.
It's like saying your definition of Kaizo just means it's something that is hard to learn the pattern and then hard to learn the movement.
Have you ever played like a Kaizo?
Yes, I have. And
that's exactly what you just defined Kaizo.
Okay, so what would be the non-Kaizo version of this?
Less random number generation, like more pattern based. Like 2 zombies come out like in like 10 seconds, right? So like every 10 seconds 2 come out, and then like every 5 seconds 1 comes out.
That sounds like something boring from like the Nintendo, like Robotron or some stupid shit.
I'm not saying like you wouldn't see them; they'd still come. Like,
have you ever played Smash TV?
No.
Let me think of something else like that. Robotron. Have you played Robotron?
No.
Like what you're saying is something that's more of like a very rudimentary like horde system in a game.
Well, like I'm like as I was saying though, like they don't like. I guess I don't know because it's weird in this game. Sometimes enemies spawn off screen and sometimes they don't, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's already pretty weird to like, but like, they would still spawn in off screen. So like, it would still be hard to manage. But like, and even if there is random number generation in it, because like random number generation can be good. So for games like these, especially, it can be great, right? Especially.
Well, that's why it'll make you can go through it, and it's what makes like. Every run's gonna be kind of different because they're gonna spawn differently.
Yeah, but like
it's a different
maybe
way to
give it a different range. I feel like the range is just too big, right? Like some people could play through and have barely
I can
enemies.
agree with that because sometimes those zombies spawn next to a fucking like person off screen, and you lose that person before you even had a chance to go see where they're at.
Yeah,
like that is a problem. That is something that bothers me in this game. Like that is a definite flaw. Every time that happens. I remember back when I was a kid and that happened, it was you were writing down your passwords every fucking level because that happened. Boom, hit that reset button. It's just like a save state, those passwords and
and that's one thing I do like about this game and other games that I like that are my personal favorites from like the SNES is like the password systems.
Yeah,
like it's really nice to have that. Like, and I mean when I'm playing it on RetroArch, I don't need to reset.
I mean,
but
it's
like. Thinking back on it, like when I used to play, I don't remember the name of it. I think it's King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table or something.
Yeah.
That game, passwords, right? That's how it was every time. And I didn't get very far because I was like 7 when I played the game. So like I didn't understand most of what it was. But like, I mean, I got like far enough that like every time I restarted, I realized I had to write down the passwords for each level so I could like. And I started perfecting each level that I was able to like figure out how to get through.
Yeah.
So like you hand me that game now, I could probably get through like the first 15 levels.
What's the name of Knights of the Round? King Arthur?
It's like King Arthur's and the Knights of the Round Table or something.
For what system?
The SNES.
And what kind of game was it?
It's a strategy game. So you have King Arthur who's like leading the knights.
Okay.
And then you send out like troops, and the troops you pick are generally based on your playstyle. Although at first. You have specific ones you can choose. The farther on in the game, you unlock more, and like it becomes very your own playstyle based, right? And like and I like at some point I was like, okay, you know what? Screw it. So I just looked up the passcode for the last level of the game, and I tried it. I never beat it obviously because I couldn't beat the rest of the game, but I saw it. I don't remember it, but I saw it at some point. It's like I appreciate password systems in these older games. Like, even playing back on it, where I don't need them, because I have save states and stuff, I appreciate them.
As somebody who grew up back when save states, or not save states, but saving your game in a game...
wasn't really a thing.
Wasn't a thing back when I very first started playing video games. Like, it was with a few games like Zelda,
Mario,
Dragon Quest.
I think Mario 3...
Mario. Nope, not Mario. Well, no, not Mario.
Wasn't there one of the Mario games, like the early Mario games, that had like a save system? Mario All Stars. That's
yeah, but that was Super Nintendo, so
yeah,
I mean
true,
that's
okay.
different. Games that had passwords were nice.
Oh yeah, because you grew up on the NES, not the SNES.
Yes. For a game like this, I would rather have a not a password. Yeah, password system instead of a save system. Because a game like this, you would only have like one save file or two save files or three save files. With this, I can go back and with passwords, I can go back and forth between the levels.
Yeah.
You know, you might not have all the weapons, you might not have all the stuff, but it's more of like, okay, I can just go back and forth through the levels, which I want. If I would have had a game like this with a save back in the day on a cartridge, someone's probably gonna race over it. If I start playing a new game and save it, I was like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have raced over that other game where I ended up getting farther. You know, so
yeah,
the password system, appreciate it. And this fact that it's not extremely complicated is nice as well.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the graphics, the whole aesthetic of the game?
I like them. The art style is nice. Relatively pleasant to look at if you're not an ant. It's like it's very smooth, and I mean that's a very low bar for SNES games. Most SNES games at that point had like gotten to the point to where like the graphics are good to look at, right? Like I can't name many SNES games that I don't like the graphics of because it's pleasant.
It's pixel
right?
graphics. They age very well as
they
opposed
do.
to like 3D graphics age poorly because
it's crazy to think that someday the 3D games that we look at now as insane, eventually
people are like that didn't age well.
Yeah, like that's weird to think. Like we're
but like pixel graphics is an art style in and of itself.
Like it's hard for that to age bad. Like even 8-bit NES like games.
It's like that's what those pixels look like, and that's what it is. It ages well. I mean, some of them can look like shit. Like bad design is bad design. Doesn't matter the fucking art style. But good pixel graphics are going to be good pixel graphics in
Forever.
10 years. If they were good pixel graphics 10 years ago, you know, they're going to look good now.
Like, I mean, there's not going to come a point where pixel graphics are going to have evolved so much that new Super Mario looks bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, like, because like, as you said, it's its own art style. Like, you can't make pixels look bad because you can't upgrade the way pixels look. You can't really upgrade the way pixels are rendered.
You can make them clearer, I guess, and that's about it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, but, like, even then, I feel like the more clear pixel art is, the less, like, special it feels. Like, there's more characteristic in a character who is 16-bit than 64-bit. Because, like, it just feels like when you're making a 64-bit avatar, it just, like, especially when it is pixelated 64-bit, like, that's, it just doesn't look the same. It doesn't have that special feel to it.
Yeah.
Like, pixel art.
I like pixel art. It's
like
I like the art style of this game.
Yeah, the art style is really nice.
I like the art style, the way they drew everything, the kind of cartoony look. I mean, it's definitely cartoony, not kind of, but the way it looks.
The specific, like, cartoony.
It kind of reminds me of like proto Plants vs. Zombies.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Like that kind of like goofy fucking zombie like look.
I could honestly see like I could see in some like world somebody who worked on this game went on to help design Plants vs. Zombies.
Right, like I'm like okay, I see where that went. Did you look into at all the sequel Ghoul Patrol?
I did not, but I did, like, I think I heard you say something about it, or I read some tiny bit about it, but I didn't look into it.
I always tell myself I'm going to try it out, and I don't think I've ever played it.
I've heard it's, like, underhyped. I've heard it's underhyped because this game, like, overshadows it.
But it's a decent game, but it's one of those games where you're like, oh, I'm going to try that out, but you never really try it out.
Yeah, and then the people
I've been saying
who
that
do
for
are,
like 20
like,
fucking
so
years.
superior.
For 20 years, I've been saying, I'm gonna try that game out.
Don't worry, Dad. I also said I'll beat Final Fantasy VII someday.
Yeah, you did.
I'm kidding, actually. I think I'm, like, over halfway done. Because I beat Disc 1, and there's, 2 discs?
3 discs.
Oh, never mind. Then I'm, like, a third of the way.
Wait, no, you're close. I know where you're at. You're closer than a third of the way. You're like you would be like nearing the end of disc 2 or the beginning of disc 3.
Anyways.
Anyhow, Plants vs Zombies. What would you say? Did you like this game all around? The sound, the graphics.
I was not a fan of the music. Maybe that's probably really controversial. Probably quite a few people, because I can tell what it is, and I can tell it sounds like something a lot of people, especially people who would have been playing this game in its prime, would have liked it. Like, that sounds like the kind of music, like, you could, like, see them. But, like, I just don't like it, so I know there's probably a lot of people angrily hate typing comments.
Nobody's giving us comments.
Yeah. You should, though.
You should, though. Like and subscribe.
If you're on YouTube. Follow and turn on the bell if you're on Spotify. Or any other podcast streaming platform that isn't YouTube.
Also, yes. Sorry. Yeah. You didn't like the music. I liked. I'm all right on the music. I'm not like, oh, that's great music. I'm like, that fits.
It's just too repetitive.
I'm like, I'm just like, yeah, that fits. Like, I never.
Like, yeah, it fits. It's very like matching with what the game is.
I don't think I played with the music very much at all. Like, for games like this, even when I was a kid, I would just turn the music off and, like, honestly, like, turn like the radio on or turn a TV on in another room if I was like by myself and just listen to the other TV. That's something like that.
That's like the My Day equivalent of playing on my laptop and watching a show in the background.
Basically, yes. So the music, whatever. Graphics, yes, like them. I like the gameplay. I like the gameplay loop. I like how skill based it is. Although you don't think.
Well, like, and I like I
awesome.
do I appreciate that it's skill based, because a game that's like, as I said, there's skill based to it. If it was completely randomly generated, 100% every playthrough was so different because there was like an endless amount of random number generation that was just that overwhelming, I would really dislike this game. But
okay. End of day, wrap it up in a package. Do you like this game?
I'm indifferent. Like, I mean, I would rate it high on the scale, but I wouldn't say I like it because I rate it high. Like, I'd rate it high, but it's not super great to me. Because, like, I can appreciate it for what it is. I can appreciate it for, like, the memory of playing it is nice. Like, it was a fun, but, like...
What was our scale on a 16 bits? On a scale of 1 to 16...
Oh, yeah, because this is a SNES game, so we're basing it off of how many bits the console is.
On a scale of 1 to 16, what would you give this game?
I'm going to have to give this 9.5 6-packs of holy water carbonated sodas.
Come on, we're really already using 16. Can't you give me a whole number?
9, okay. We'll go 10 knives and forks.
You give me 10 knives and forks?
I'll give you 10 knives and forks.
All right. That's... I guess I can see that. You know, that's like a
higher
6.
end.
That's like a 6 on a scale of 10.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm going to give this game probably like a 13.
That's
14.
Fair. And like from what you
somewhere
said,
there,
because
I really like this game. This was the kind of game when I was a kid. I never owned this game, but I would always rent it on the weekends.
Yeah.
And it was a solid rental every time. Like this was one of my fallback games. This was one of the games where if I didn't see one of those newer games that came out, something I was actually looking for, I was like, oh, I don't see nothing good. Blah blah.
I'll just get Zombies.
I'm gonna get fucking Zombies. I'm gonna play that game, and it's a solid weekend.
You called it Zombies, dog.
It's because that's what I called it. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna grab Zombies.
That's fair. The Europeans have really gotten a hold of us.
In my head, I was like, I'm gonna grab Zombies versus eat my neighbors, whatever the fuck.
Zombies ate my plants. Zombies
versus
neighbors.
Zombies versus neighbors. Same shit. Zombies versus neighbors. I'm just there refereeing it.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you know, then.
But yeah, so I would give it a solid 13.
That's fair. I could have guessed about that range. I felt like that was about going to be where the range you gave it based on like how you talked about it.
And it wasn't something that like I ever went out and bought, you know. Even
like it wasn't that good.
But it was a solid rental, and I never was disappointed by it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it was also a game I knew that if I owned that, I probably would have gotten tired of it. Like,
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think that's probably like why I like after I got stuck, I knew like if I just kept going at it, I wasn't even gonna have anything good to say about the game. So I just kind of like put it down for a long time because I was like, if I keep going at this over and over and keep failing, and like if I have to watch a tutorial for every level, I'm not gonna have a single good thing to say about this game. So I should just cut it off where like the good ends.
Yep. All right. Well, that was Zombies Ate My Neighbors for the Super Nintendo. You got anything else to say about it?
No. I mean, I'm glad the impression it gave me, but I can't say it'll be a game I touch for a long time, if ever again.
Oh, I'll play it again eventually, probably on my PlayStation.
Probably.
I got the pack or whatever it is. All right, so you got any plugs? You got anything you want to say?
Actually, I have a little bit of a different kind of plug.
Hair
So,
plugs, butt plug. That package you got in the mail, I know it was butt plugs.
I didn't even get a package. So this is a kind of different plug because this is more of a look out for the future. Because I mean, I've already plugged all of my socials on here multiple times. This is something I haven't plugged. So I plan at some point on making some kind of film. And it's going to be based off of Teenage Prodigy, who is I've plugged. That's where I make music. He's kind of his own whole character, and I'm really excited for that. So I'm gonna have more information. So the further we get into this, is gonna be its own side plot for a little bit on RetroQuest. The side plot is gonna be me plugging the movie, so everybody who listens to our podcast will go see it.
Stay tuned for an announcement about an announcement.
Yes. But for the most part, that's all my plugs. Obviously, go check me out on Twitch. I'm barely ever live. So if you can catch me, then you can catch me. But most of my streams get re-uploaded to YouTube anyways. So.
And then you can catch us on YouTube, RetroQuest Podcast. Catch us on Spotify, iTunes.
Wherever you do your leisurely podcast
wherever
listening.
you look, you probably can find us. So just
wherever
where you
you're
can
listening
find
to
us,
us now, you can find us here again too.
I think all I should say is like, you know where you can find us? Wherever there's a search bar where you can search for podcasts.
You know where you can
If
find
you
us wherever you're listening to us right now.
Right now, or if you're somewhere else where you listen to podcasts,
just ask them what they're using.
Just type us into the search bar.
Yes,
and
RetroQuest.
then you'll find us.
It'll either be on the RetroQuest or RetroQuest podcast.
Just type in RetroQuest, and it won't fail you. I mean, we're there.
Exactly, we're
just pull out a
confidence
magnifying glass, and we're fucking there.
Confidence is key.
Anyhow, this has been fun. We'll do it again sometimes. Oh, what's the next game we're gonna do? Should we announce it? Should we figure it out right now on air? This is good podcasting, by the way.
This is great.
Right at the end, after we signed off, let's make a decision real quick.
Should we do Echo? Do you think we're a good spot for Echo?
Echo the Dolphin?
Yeah.
You want to do Echo the Dolphin? That seems like such a
That's one of my
episode. That seems like something I guess I can play in like a fucking day.
Trust me, it's not.
I bet it is. I think I played it when I was a kid. I don't remember.
I've played it quite a bit. I've played it even recently.
Oh wow, really?
It's pretty tough.
Okay.
Like
Echo the Dolphin.
Is that solid?
Solid. Echo the Dolphin. We'll do Echo the Dolphin. Sega Genesis.
All right.
First Sega game.
It will be. Oh yeah, it will be the first Sega game. For some reason, I thought we had already done one. No, we haven't.
This will be the first one. Echo the Dolphin.
This will be our first time moving away from NES and SNES.
All right. Cool. All right, guys. So check us out. Stay tuned for all of that. And
signing out. We have been your hosts.
Peace. That was fun.
That was a solid episode, I'd say.
Yep.
That was